and I've lived in Poland for 16 years. I came as a student, and that was in 2006 actually. So during my studies, I started engaging, in activism. I started a foundation called Africa Connect Foundation, where we were teaching Polish people.
Hello everybody watching from my channel. Welcome to the special program. Today I have a very wonderful man, all the way, the writer, the great writer that everybody knows around the world. It's a great pleasure for me that I have got a chance when I visited in Warsaw, Poland. Actually, I didn't know him. I was lucky to know later when I got a friend who read the books that he write against the racism. I will have a great interview with him today, and it's a great pleasure for me. First of all, I want to thank you, Mr. James Omolo, for his chance. James, I want to thank you very much for your chance. I know you were working and you got a little bit time, as you told me, to have a chance with me, and it's a great pleasure for me. Welcome to the program today.
Thank you for having me as well.
Thank you so much. Mr. James, Qoraaga Caanka, you're originally from Kenya?
Yeah, I'm from Kenya. Yes, that's right.
Qoraaga Caanka dalka Kenya wuxuu qoray buugag fara badan oo caalamka caanka ah isla markaana looga hadlayo midab kala sooca. Bookta uu qoray, and what they are talking about, Mr. James Omolo, one edition. I will tell you all the books that you write. But first, I want to introduce him first. Welcome to the program. And
thank you.
Tell your stories, short information about your story to the people.
Yeah, thank you very much. I have a very short story though. My life is not, that big. Right. Yeah. As I mentioned earlier, I'm from Kenya actually, and I've lived in Poland for 16 years. I came as a student, and that was in 2006 actually. So during my studies, I started engaging, in activism. I started a foundation called Africa Connect Foundation, where we were teaching Polish people about the culture.
So that foundation is since when?
Since 2012 actually, yeah. And yeah, because of this perception of Africa being a country in the West, so it's not a kind of a monolithic group as such. We are very diverse, so we are trying to, kind of educate them about that. And then we prioritize also issues to do with racism, intolerance, hate crime. And that actually was, the beginning of my activism and the beginning of my writing, because what I write about is not a fiction. I write about the reality that I go through.
Mr. James Omolo, I just want you to start from the beginning. When and what is the reason, and when it was the first time that you came your mind up to invent these books, and what was the reason actually?
Well, the reason is obvious. Being an African, a black person living in Poland, we go through, a lot of difficulties sometimes, or just different experiences. And I like writing about things that affect me and also affect people who look like me as such. So that I decided to, initially I was writing, actually. I was writing book chapters, but I never thought of writing my own book, so I got more inspirational through my activism, and I wanted to put everything on paper and also to create awareness to the world, the rest of the world, to understand what it means to, be black in Europe, in the West, where the color of your skin become a determinant factor in almost everything you do. So I started with Poland when I had my first book.
This is the first book.
First book. It's called Black Poland. It has a lot of memories because actually I try to put some of the experiences of some of my experiences as well as experience of others. By then we used to do a lot of workshops and roundtable meetings, and having those ideas and putting them into paper was something that was also emotional in a way. Yeah. So the book is actually about experiences, multidimensional approach in a way, experiences of people of African descent, their life chances, how they connect with each other, how they connect with the Polish people, how their life is basically, whether it's easier or not, the kind of institutions they form in Poland as such, how they help each other, and all this kind of stuff.
Were there other African communities or African guys who really support with you for this writing, or you alone had managed to issue all these kinds of books?
I mean, I'm the one who wrote it. It wasn't co-authored.
Did you get any support for both financial and mentality?
No. I wrote it and used my ideas and stuff.
Actually,
like
that. James Omola, when I heard the name and the books, I was thinking I should meet a very old aged man. But when I came across with him today, it was like wonderful, it was like surprising for me. James Omola, the first book was Black Poland.
Black Poland, yes.
And the reason is the difficulties and the problems that had faced the black people, black Polanders, to be shed a light on, to be clarified.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But not only the difficulties. It was also about. It's also about how the black community, survive in this environment, how they integrate. Also, how they integrate among themselves, not only between Polish people and them, but also how they support each other, how they manage to live in a different environment, far away from the homes.
Of course, we cannot tell all the stories what's written in the books, dear colleague, but you can simplify online, and it's already almost well known, because for me from London and from New Zealand, all people are telling me. So the second book is what about in short? Yeah,
the second book, Crossing the Color Line. Here's the book.
Crossing the Color Line.
Yes. So this is not about Poland as per se. It's about Europe actually, and it's a collection. It's research based. I did research in Poland, Germany, Sweden, Austria, and Denmark, and the objective actually was to give a more of multidimensional approach of how black people connect with white people. I mean, in terms of marriage, within the institution of marriage. So, because there's been a lot of issues looking at how racism manifests itself, and people usually say, I'm not racist because I have a friend from Zimbabwe.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're looking at how this nuclear family, this mixed family, how do they relate? How do they connect with the family, the immediate family members, and the society as a whole?
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And the third book that you write is called the Beast White
Supremacy. Yeah. So yeah, the Beast White Supremacy is one of my favorite books. Of course, they are my favorite, but one of my favorite books.
You like one so much, of course.
Yeah.
Even the parents, for example, and just an example, the parents will like all the children, but especially there is
the favorite one.
The favorite.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So the favorite book for you is the Beast White Supreme.
Yeah, the first thing why I call it the Beast actually is to kind of demonize the concept, the ideology behind white supremacy, because white supremacy is prevalent in the West. I mean, even in Africa it's there. It comes with a lot of privileges. It comes with a lot of racism and discrimination. It comes with a lot of culture appropriation. Name it. There are so many tidbits of white supremacy that sometimes are really subtle. We cannot even identify or just recognize it. So the book is to give you all these elements of how white supremacy is being projected in our reality in a way. Yeah. So it talks about different topics, not only on one topic.
Like
yeah.
reading back what you wrote, do you feel like that?
No.
What you have wrote, what you have invented yourself, do you feel like reading back to what you have done?
No, because I do a lot of reading during writing it actually. Because I have to after writing it.
Let's come to the conclusion for the fourth one, please.
Different but the same.
Different. Book ugu dambeeyay saddex book uu qoray. Book koobaad waxa la yiraahdaa Strangers at the Gate oo Black Poland dadka Black Polandiska ah ee madowga ah ee reer Poland ah ayuu ku saabsan yahay caqabadaheedii mataqaana waxyaabo badan oo experience u noqday. Midka labaad waa Crossing the Color Line oo asiga laftirkiisa ka hadlaayo dadka la cusriyeenayo ee madowga ah waxyaabo badan ka hadlaayo. The Beastie White Super oo asiga laftirkiisa ah book kale oo xiiso badan oo asiga laftirkiisa uu sheegay inuu booktiisa kan ugu jecel yahay different but the same. That's the last conclusion.
Yeah, that's the last one, and it's the last, not the last book.
Not the last book.
Yeah.
The last book, at least.
Yeah, it's my first children's book actually. So I just released it two months ago. The reason I wrote it, actually, I didn't plan to release it publicly. I wrote it for my children. I have two children who are biracial. And
half Poland,
half Polish, half Kenyan.
Wow, that's the reason you write all this.
So when I decided to, I just said, let me write something for them, something they'll remember, that's something that can help them as well. The objective of the book actually is to, give them something that can help them navigate this environment, this monoracial society where you are either black or white. You're not, remember Obama, they used to say Obama is black.
Exactly.
So also something to build confidence.
When we say when Obama comes, era changed the world, could we say like this?
Sorry?
When Obama came as a president, the whole view for our black people changed.
Yeah, I didn't change actually. It didn't change as such. Yeah, but that's for another day.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So I just wanted to give them something to build confidence in them.
Yeah, exactly.
promote self-love.
Yeah.
And also to make them understand we live in a world of diversity.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it's not only for the children, but it's for all children all over the world. It helps children to, at a younger age, to initiate or engage in that, children and parents to engage in that conversation of tolerance, diversity, and also about self-love. Because if children, they start losing that momentum of self-love, then they develop low self-esteem, and that's not good for them. Yeah.
Thank you so much, James Omola. I really appreciate your great chance today. And if you, in case, need to contact him, I will also can easily find a contact from him. While I got the connection from the Heat Community Somali manager here in Poland. Anyone who needs to contact with him, also we can get the contact. This is interview was all about having introduction with Mr. James Omola, which is a great man, has invented a lot of books. I really appreciate it. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
See you next time. Thank you.
Absolutely.